Welcome back to Learn English with Podcast Conversation. I'm Jennifer, and today, along with my co-host Thomas, we're tackling a big challenge that many English learners face: public speaking. We'll share practical tips to help you build confidence when speaking to an audience, especially in English.
That's right, Jennifer. Public speaking is a skill many people struggle with, even in their native language. Today, we'll break down easy steps and exercises that can make speaking in front of others feel less intimidating and, hopefully, even enjoyable. Let's get started.
Public speaking is scary because we're worrying about how others see us. To start, recognize that this fear is normal. Studies show that many people feel this way. Acknowledging it is the first step toward overcoming it.
Exactly, Jennifer. It's also important to remember that most people in the audience are supportive. They're there to listen and learn, not to judge. Thinking of them as friends can really help ease your nerves.
A good way to start is to practice speaking to yourself in the mirror. This way, you can get used to seeing yourself speak without an audience. It's a small step that builds confidence over time.
Another tip is to focus on your message, not on yourself. When you're passionate about what you're saying, you're less likely to worry about how you look or sound. Focus on delivering value to your listeners.
Visualize a successful speech before you start. Picture the audience smiling, nodding, or clapping. This positive visualization can reduce your nerves and help you feel more prepared.
And remember, mistakes are okay. Everyone makes them. Instead of fearing mistakes, embrace them as part of the learning process. It's all about progress, not perfection.
Preparation is key to reducing fear. Start by writing down your main points. Having a clear outline can keep you focused and prevent you from going off track, which can help reduce anxiety.
Yes, once you've outlined your speech, practice it out loud. The more you practice, the more comfortable you'll feel. Repetition turns nervousness into familiarity.
Recording yourself is another great technique. It allows you to hear and improve your tone, pace, and clarity. Plus, you'll notice any areas where you can add more confidence to your voice.
Practicing in front of a friend or family member also helps. They can give feedback and encourage you, making you feel more at ease with an audience.
Timing yourself can be very useful too. Knowing exactly how long your speech takes gives you control, so you're not rushing or worrying about running out of time.
And don't forget to breathe. Deep breathing exercises before speaking help calm your mind and control your voice. It's a simple way to keep nerves at bay.
A great way to gain public speaking experience is through low-pressure practice, like reading stories to friends or joining a small study group. Gradually, it helps build your confidence.
Agreed. Another effective approach is to volunteer to speak in informal settings like a family gathering or a small meetup. This way, you're in a friendly environment.
You could even practice by introducing yourself to new people. The more you speak, the easier it becomes. It's all about building that habit.
And remember, it's okay to feel nervous. Nervousness means you care about what you're doing, which is a good thing. Channel that energy into enthusiasm for your topic.
Try recording short videos on your phone talking about a favorite topic. Watching these will help you see your growth over time, which boosts confidence.
Taking small steps each day adds up. Every little bit of practice moves you closer to feeling comfortable on stage. Keep going even when it feels challenging.
Let's talk about the audience. Remember, most people are rooting for you. When you start speaking, look for friendly faces in the crowd and focus on them.
Yes, good point. Audience reactions are not always about you. If someone looks distracted, it could be unrelated. Focus on delivering your message, not on reading everyone's expressions.
If you forget a line or stumble, just pause, breathe, and keep going. Audiences understand that mistakes happen and will admire your ability to stay calm.
Using humor can also lighten the mood. If you make a small mistake, laugh it off. This shows you're relaxed and can make your audience feel more comfortable too.
And remember to make eye contact. Eye contact builds connection with your audience, showing them you're confident and engaged in what you're saying.
If possible, start your speech with a story or relatable example. This not only engages listeners but helps you feel more comfortable as you ease into your topic.
Body language says a lot. Stand up straight, keep your shoulders back, and use your hands to emphasize points. Confident body language can help you feel more confident too.
Yes, smiling can work wonders. When you smile, you feel more relaxed and it signals warmth to your audience. It makes both you and them feel comfortable.
Avoid crossing your arms or fidgeting. These can make you look closed off or nervous. Instead, keep your posture open and make natural hand gestures.
A good tip is to move slightly as you speak, but not too much. Moving a bit can release nervous energy and make you look more relaxed and approachable.
Practice standing confidently in front of a mirror. This helps you see what body language looks best and reminds you to keep good posture.
And keep your movements natural. Forced gestures can feel awkward, but a relaxed, natural stance helps you stay focused on your message, not on your nerves.
As a final tip, remember that each speech is a learning experience. Even if it's not perfect, it's progress. Celebrate each step you take toward becoming more confident.
Absolutely. Jennifer, embrace every opportunity to speak. Each experience will help you grow and get more comfortable speaking publicly.
Keep in mind, public speaking gets easier with time. The more you practice, the less intimidating it becomes. Trust in your ability to improve.
Finally, be kind to yourself. Building confidence takes time, so give yourself credit for every small success along the way. You're doing great.
When it comes to public speaking, mental preparation is key. One trick is to picture yourself succeeding. Imagine you're calm, confident, and engaging your audience. Visualizing a positive outcome can make it easier to believe in yourself when you step on stage.
I agree. Jennifer, positive self-talk also helps. Tell yourself things like, "I've got this" or "I'm prepared." Repeating affirmations can shift your mindset from fear to confidence. It sounds simple, but these phrases can calm your nerves and boost your self-assurance.
Yes, another technique is to focus on your breathing. Before you begin, take a few deep breaths. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold, then exhale. This not only calms your body but also clears your mind, helping you stay focused and present with your audience.
And try to remind yourself that it's okay to feel nervous. Everyone feels nervous at times, even experienced speakers. Nerves are simply your body's way of preparing you to perform. Embracing those feelings can help reduce their power over you.
Right. When I feel nervous, I think of it as excitement rather than fear. Channel that energy into enthusiasm. This reframing makes the experience feel more positive and keeps me focused on my message instead of my anxiety.
Exactly, and remember, preparation builds confidence. The more prepared you are, the less nervous you'll feel. Knowing your material well gives you a foundation to rely on, so unexpected things won't shake you as easily.
A strong structure can make any speech easier to deliver. Start with a clear opening that introduces your main point, then have a few key points to guide the middle. And with a memorable conclusion, a solid structure helps you stay on track and feel more in control.
Absolutely, using a structure also allows you to pause and think if you lose your place. If you know your key points, it's easier to pick up where you left off. And it gives you confidence knowing you have a roadmap to follow, even if nerves kick in.
I also suggest breaking down your speech into smaller chunks. It's much easier to handle short segments than to think about an entire speech. Focus on delivering one idea at a time, and it'll feel more manageable and less overwhelming.
Yes, Jennifer, and don't be afraid to pause between points. Pausing gives your audience time to absorb information and lets you take a breath. This also adds emphasis, making your delivery sound more thoughtful and controlled.
Exactly, and don't rush through your speech. Speaking slowly gives you time to think and also shows confidence. Plus, it's easier for the audience to understand you. Remember, you're not in a race. Take your time to communicate clearly.
And one final tip for structure: use transitions between points. Simple phrases like next, for example, or in addition keep your speech flowing smoothly, helping listeners follow along and showing you're in control of your presentation.
Personal stories are powerful tools in public speaking. Sharing a story lets the audience see your human side, and it can make your message more relatable. When listeners connect with your story, they're more likely to remember your main points and feel engaged.
I agree. Jennifer, stories also help make complex topics easier to understand. Instead of listing facts, try using an example from your own experience. This not only makes the material more interesting, but also gives you confidence because it's something you know well.
Yes, and it's also easier to speak confidently when sharing personal stories. Since it's your own experience, you won't feel like you have to remember every detail perfectly. You're simply sharing something meaningful, which feels more natural.
Exactly, and adding emotions to your story can make it even stronger. If a story made you laugh, surprised you, or taught you something, share that with your audience. Emotions create a connection that keeps listeners engaged from start to finish.
And remember, stories don't have to be long or complicated. Even a short, simple story can have a big impact. The goal is to make the topic come alive for your audience in a way they can relate to personally.
Another great tip is to use stories to emphasize your main points. For example, if you're speaking on teamwork, share a moment when collaboration made a difference. It reinforces your message and helps the audience see why it's important.
Eye contact is essential for connecting with your audience. When you look directly at people, it shows confidence and lets them know you're speaking to them, not just at them. Aim to make eye contact with different people throughout your speech.
That's a great tip. Eye contact also helps you gauge your audience's reaction. If people look engaged, it reassures you. If they seem confused, it's a sign you might need to slow down or clarify. Eye contact turns a speech into a two-way experience.
Yes, and body language matters just as much. Standing tall with an open posture shows confidence. Avoid crossing your arms or slouching. Think of your body language as reinforcing your words and helping the audience trust what you're saying.
Hand gestures can also be effective. Using your hands to emphasize points makes your message more dynamic and visually interesting. Just remember to keep it natural. Too many gestures can be distracting, but a few can add impact.
And smiling is another powerful tool. A genuine smile not only makes you appear more approachable, but also helps you feel more relaxed. It sets a positive tone and makes the audience more likely to respond positively.
One more tip: be mindful of movement. Moving slightly can help release tension, but avoid pacing back and forth. Standing still at key moments can convey strength, while a bit of movement can keep things dynamic and engaging.
Pausing is one of the simplest yet most effective tools in public speaking. When you pause, it gives the audience a moment to absorb what you just said. It also gives you time to gather your thoughts and adds emphasis to your message.
Absolutely, Jennifer, pausing can be a sign of confidence. Instead of rushing, you're in control, allowing the audience to focus on each point. A well-placed pause can make your speech more powerful and keep listeners hanging on to your words.
If you're nervous, it's tempting to fill every silence, but resist that urge. Silence is not your enemy, it's a powerful tool. Pausing between points makes your speech sound polished and shows you're comfortable enough to take your time.
And when you pause, you don't have to think about what's next so quickly. It gives you a second to recall your next point, helping you stay calm and reducing the pressure to remember everything immediately.
Handling questions can feel intimidating, but it's a great opportunity to connect with your audience. Start by listening carefully to the question. Pause before answering if you need to think. This shows you're taking the question seriously and staying composed.
That's so true, Jennifer. If you don't know the answer, it's okay to admit it. You can say, "That's a great question. I'll need to look into that and get back to you." Honesty builds credibility, and your audience will appreciate your transparency.
And if you do know the answer, try to respond in a way that ties back to your main message. This reinforces your key points and keeps the discussion on track. It's also a chance to demonstrate your expertise and confidence in the topic.
Exactly. Keeping your tone friendly and approachable during the Q&A is important too. Even if a question seems critical, respond with calmness and professionalism. It's not just about the answer, it's about how you handle the interaction.
Another tip is to repeat the question before answering. This ensures everyone in the audience hears it and gives you a moment to organize your thoughts. Plus, it shows respect to the person asking, making the conversation more engaging.
Lastly, try to keep answers concise but clear. Avoid going off on tangents that might confuse the audience. Direct, focused responses are easier to follow and help maintain your credibility as a confident speaker.
Feedback is one of the best tools for growth. After every presentation, ask for feedback from trusted friends or colleagues. What did they like? Where could you improve? Constructive feedback helps you pinpoint areas to work on and boosts your confidence over time.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Don't be afraid to ask specific questions when seeking feedback. For example, did my tone sound engaging, or were my main points clear? This allows you to get actionable advice instead of vague comments like "it was good."
Yes, and when receiving feedback, focus on the constructive parts rather than dwelling on criticism. Nobody is perfect. Use the comments as guidance for improvement instead of letting them discourage you. Remember, every great speaker started as a beginner.
That's a key point. Recording yourself during practice is another way to get feedback. When you watch yourself, you notice things you might not realize, like your tone, pace, or gestures. Self-assessment is a powerful way to refine your skills.
And if you feel nervous about feedback, start small. Share your speech with a friend or mentor before presenting to a large group. Their encouragement and advice can build your confidence gradually, making the process less intimidating.
Most importantly, celebrate your progress. Every step forward, no matter how small, is an achievement. Confidence doesn't grow overnight, but with consistent effort and reflection, you'll see improvement and feel more prepared for future speeches.
Practicing in front of a supportive audience can make a huge difference. Friends, family, or colleagues can provide a safe space to test your speech. It's less pressure than a formal setting and helps you get comfortable with speaking to people.
That's a great idea, Jennifer. They can also give you honest feedback on your delivery. Did you speak clearly? Were your points easy to follow? Friendly audiences can help you identify areas to tweak without the fear of judgment.
Yes, and practicing in front of others helps you simulate real-life conditions. It's one thing to practice alone, but speaking in front of even a small group can prepare you for managing nerves and interacting with an audience.
I agree. You can even ask them to play the role of your audience by asking questions or reacting as if they were a real crowd. This kind of role-playing prepares you for unexpected scenarios and boosts your confidence in handling them.
Another tip is to try practicing in different settings. Speak in a living room, at a park, or in a meeting room. Changing the environment helps you adapt to various situations, making you feel more flexible and ready for anything.
And don't forget to practice with a timer. Ensuring your speech fits within a time limit is crucial, especially for formal presentations. Timing yourself during practice will help you stay focused and on track during the actual event.
Stage fright is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. Start by embracing the adrenaline its energy you can use. Deep breathing before you step up can calm your nerves, helping you feel more centered and ready to engage your audience.
That's a great point, Jennifer. Visualization works wonders too. Picture yourself delivering a confident, successful presentation. Imagine the audience nodding and smiling. This mental preparation can reduce fear and boost your confidence.
Another strategy is to focus on your message, not yourself. Remember, the audience is there to learn or be inspired, not to judge you. Shifting your attention to how you can help them makes your nervousness less overwhelming.
Exactly. Breaking the ice at the start of your presentation can also ease your nerves. A light joke or a friendly smile can create a connection with the audience, making you feel more at ease and setting a positive tone.
And don't forget to practice grounding techniques, like keeping your feet firmly on the floor and relaxing your shoulders. These small adjustments can help you feel stable and reduce physical signs of anxiety, like shaking or sweating.
Finally, remind yourself that it's okay to make mistakes. Even seasoned speakers slip up. What matters is how you recover, acknowledge it lightly, and move on. The audience is likely rooting for you, not against you.
Visual aids, like slides or props, can enhance your presentation, but they shouldn't steal the spotlight. Keep slides simple, with minimal text and clear visuals. They're there to support your speech, not replace it.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Avoid reading directly from slides. This disconnects you from the audience. Use them as prompts to elaborate on your points. Engaging directly with your listeners keeps the presentation dynamic and interactive.
Yes, and ensure your visuals are easy to see and understand. Choose readable fonts, contrasting colors, and clear images. Complicated charts or overcrowded slides can confuse the audience, which detracts from your message.
And don't overuse animations or transitions. While they can add flair, too much can distract from your points. Keep it professional and smooth so the audience focuses on the content rather than the effects.
Props can be useful too, especially in storytelling or demonstrations. A relevant object can make your points more tangible and memorable. Just be sure to practice handling it beforehand to avoid awkward moments.
Lastly, practice integrating visual aids into your speech. Know when to refer to them and how to transition back to speaking. Seamless use of aids shows professionalism and keeps the audience engaged without breaking your flow.
Nervous energy can actually be your secret weapon. Instead of fighting it, channel it into enthusiasm for your topic. Speak with passion and conviction, and the audience will focus on your energy rather than any small mistakes.
That's a great approach, Jennifer. Movement can also help release nervous energy. Walking a little while speaking or using hand gestures adds a dynamic element to your presentation. It keeps you active and makes your delivery more engaging.
And don't underestimate the power of your voice. Vary your tone and pace to reflect your excitement about the topic. A lively, enthusiastic voice can captivate your audience and make them feel just as passionate as you are.
Exactly. Making eye contact is another way to project confidence and energy. Even if you're nervous, looking at friendly faces in the audience can make the interaction feel personal, helping you connect better.
And smile. Smiling not only relaxes your facial muscles, but also sends a positive signal to your audience. It shows you're approachable and enjoying the experience, which makes them more receptive to your message.
Lastly, remember to embrace your uniqueness. Everyone has their own speaking style. Let your personality shine through, and don't try to imitate someone else. Authenticity resonates deeply with audiences and makes your presentation memorable.
Your opening sets the tone for the entire presentation. Start with a powerful statement, a surprising fact, or a personal story. This grabs attention immediately and creates curiosity about what you're going to say next.
Exactly, Jennifer. A rhetorical question can also work well. Something like, "Have you ever felt nervous speaking in public?" Engages the audience and makes them think about their own experiences, building a connection right away.
Yes, and humor can be effective too if it fits the topic and audience. A light, appropriate joke can break the ice and make you seem more approachable. Just make sure it's something everyone will understand and appreciate.
Another strategy is to clearly outline your purpose. Let the audience know what they'll gain from your talk. A statement like, "By the end of this, you'll have 3 actionable tips for overcoming stage fright," gives them a reason to pay attention.
Absolutely. You can also share a personal anecdote that relates to your topic. Stories are powerful tools. They humanize you as a speaker and help the audience see your journey, which can inspire and motivate them.
Lastly, practice your opening multiple times. When you nail the first minute, it boosts your confidence for the rest of the presentation. A strong start sets you up for success and ensures the audience is eager to hear more.
Your body language speaks volumes before you even say a word. Standing tall with an open posture shows confidence. Avoid crossing your arms or slouching, as these can make you appear nervous or closed off to your audience.
That's right, Jennifer. Hand gestures can emphasize your points and keep your audience visually engaged. But don't overdo it. Wild gestures can distract. Keep your movements natural and aligned with your message for maximum impact.
Another tip is to make purposeful use of your space. Moving around the stage or room shows energy and confidence, but it should be intentional. Pacing back and forth can make you seem anxious, so practice controlled movements during your rehearsal.
Exactly. Eye contact is key too. Scan the room and try to connect with different sections of the audience. This makes everyone feel included and keeps you grounded. Avoid staring at your notes or slides for too long. It disconnects you from your listeners.
Facial expressions are just as important. A warm smile, raised eyebrows for emphasis, or a look of concern when discussing serious points can add depth to your delivery. Expressions make your words more relatable and engaging.
And don't forget about your voice. Even though it's not technically body language, how you use it works hand in hand with your gestures and expressions. Varying your pitch and volume keeps the audience engaged and reinforces your confidence.
No presentation goes perfectly, and that's okay. If something unexpected happens, like forgetting a point, pause, take a breath, and collect yourself. A moment of silence feels much shorter to the audience than it does to you.
Absolutely, Jennifer. If there's a technical issue, stay calm and address it with humor if appropriate. For example, if your slides won't load, you could say, "Looks like I'll get to test my storytelling skills today." Positivity helps maintain the audience's trust.
Yes, and prepare for interruptions, like unexpected questions or noise. You can say, "Let me finish this point, and then I'll address your question," or simply pause until the distraction passes. Staying composed shows professionalism.
Another challenge is losing your train of thought. If this happens, don't panic. Glance at your notes or take a sip of water to buy time. Then, restate your last point to smoothly transition back into your talk.
Exactly. Having backup material is also helpful. If you finish earlier than planned or run into an issue, extra examples or stories can fill the time and keep the audience engaged. Preparation is your best defense against surprises.
Most importantly, don't let small mistakes derail your confidence. The audience rarely notices them as much as you do. Focus on delivering value and moving forward. Resilience in handling challenges often leaves a positive impression.
Connecting with your audience is vital for a successful presentation. Start by acknowledging them, thank them for attending or sharing their time. It's a small gesture that builds rapport and shows you value their presence.
Exactly, Jennifer. Asking the audience questions, even rhetorical ones, is another great way to involve them. For example, how many of you have faced public speaking fears? This invites engagement and makes them feel like active participants.
I agree. Personalizing your speech by referencing the audience or their context also works well. If you're speaking at a business conference, relate your points to their industry challenges. This relevance keeps them invested in your talk.
Yes, and humor can also help bridge the gap. A lighthearted comment about the weather or a shared experience at the event can create a warm, friendly atmosphere. Just ensure it's appropriate and aligns with the audience's preferences.
Another technique is mirroring their energy. If the audience seems energetic, match that enthusiasm. If they're quieter, start slow and build engagement gradually. Adapting your style shows you're attentive to their mood.
Finally, don't forget to make eye contact and smile genuinely. These simple actions convey warmth and approachability. When the audience feels that you're confident and personable, they're more likely to connect and engage with your message.
Practice is the foundation of confidence in public speaking. Rehearse your speech multiple times, but vary the conditions. Practice standing, walking, and even sitting to prepare for different scenarios.
That's a smart approach, Jennifer. Record yourself while practicing and review the playback. It helps identify areas to improve, like pacing, tone, or filler words. Watching yourself objectively boosts your awareness and sharpens your delivery.
Yes, and try practicing in front of a friend or family member who can give constructive feedback. They might notice habits you're unaware of, like fidgeting or overusing certain phrases. Use their input to refine your performance.
Rehearsing with your visual aids or props is just as important. Get comfortable switching slides or using equipment so you can handle them smoothly during the actual presentation. This practice minimizes technical hiccups and boosts your confidence.
And remember to time yourself. Sticking to your allotted time is crucial, especially in formal settings. A well-timed speech shows respect for your audience and keeps their attention focused throughout.
Lastly, simulate the audience experience as much as possible. If you're speaking in a large room, practice projecting your voice. If it's a small group, practice conversational tones. This adaptability ensures you're prepared for any setting.
After every presentation, seek feedback to grow. Ask trusted colleagues or audience members for their impressions. What did they find engaging? Were there any areas for improvement? Constructive feedback helps refine your skills.
Exactly, Jennifer. Analyzing audience reactions during your talk can also provide insights. Were they nodding and smiling? Did they seem distracted? Observing their body language helps you understand what works and what needs adjustment.
Surveys or follow-up emails are another effective way to gather feedback. A simple questionnaire asking about clarity, engagement, and value of your talk can highlight strengths and reveal areas to focus on for your next presentation.
And don't forget to evaluate yourself. Reflect on how you felt during the presentation. Were there moments of discomfort or hesitation? What made you feel confident? This self-assessment complements external feedback for a balanced perspective.
Yes, and celebrate your progress. Public speaking is a skill that improves with practice and learning. Acknowledge your achievements, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep improving.
Absolutely. Feedback isn't about perfection, it's about growth. Each presentation is an opportunity to enhance your confidence and effectiveness. Embrace feedback as a tool for continual learning and development in your speaking journey.
Nervousness is natural, and even seasoned speakers feel it. One effective technique is controlled breathing. Deep, slow breaths before speaking can calm your nerves and help you focus, reducing anxiety and giving you a clear mind for your presentation.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Visualization is another helpful tool. Imagine yourself speaking confidently, delivering each point smoothly, and receiving positive reactions from the audience. This mental rehearsal can boost your confidence before you step on stage.
That's a great tip, Thomas. Grounding techniques also help. Focus on sensory details, like the feel of the floor under your feet or the texture of your notes. This brings your mind to the present moment, calming nervous thoughts about what could go wrong.
And if you feel a rush of nerves during your talk, pause briefly. Take a breath, gather your thoughts, and continue. A short pause can feel natural to the audience, and it gives you a moment to regain composure without disrupting the flow.
Preparation is another way to reduce nervousness. The more familiar you are with your material, the less room there is for anxiety. Rehearse thoroughly so you're confident in your content, and visualize possible audience questions to feel even more prepared.
Lastly, remember that the audience is on your side. They're there to learn from you, not to judge. Keep that in mind and try to enjoy the experience. Nervousness might not disappear, but you can manage it and channel it into enthusiasm for your message.
Handling questions confidently is a skill of its own. Start by listening attentively to each question, maintaining eye contact with the questioner. This shows respect and ensures you fully understand what's being asked before responding.
That's right, Jennifer. If a question catches you off guard, don't rush. Take a brief moment to think or even repeat the question for clarity. This buys you time and shows the audience that you're thoughtful about your response.
Another tip is to be honest if you don't know the answer. It's perfectly fine to say, "I'll look into that and get back to you." This shows humility and keeps you credible. People appreciate authenticity over an uncertain or rushed response.
Absolutely, Jennifer, redirecting complex questions to the audience can also foster discussion. Say, "That's a great question. Does anyone else have thoughts on this?" This approach encourages a collaborative environment and takes the pressure off you.
You can also bridge questions back to your main points. For example, if someone asks something slightly off topic, answer briefly, then steer the conversation back. This keeps the session focused and reinforces your key message.
And remember to wrap up each response by thanking the questioner. A simple "thank you, that's a great question" keeps things positive. Acknowledging questions makes the Q&A feel like a meaningful part of your presentation, not just an obligation.
A strong opening sets the tone for your entire presentation. Start with a captivating story or a surprising fact related to your topic. This grabs attention immediately and makes the audience curious about what's coming next, ensuring their engagement.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Asking a thought-provoking question also works wonders. For instance, have you ever wondered why public speaking is a top fear? Questions spark interest and encourage the audience to think, making them more receptive to your ideas.
Another effective strategy is using a powerful quote. Choose one that aligns with your topic and resonates with the audience. For example, "The only way to conquer fear is to face it" sets a motivational tone for a speech about public speaking.
I agree. Humor is another great option if used appropriately. A light, relatable joke can ease tension and help you connect with your audience. Just ensure it aligns with your subject and audience type to avoid any misunderstanding.
Personal anecdotes are equally impactful. Sharing a brief story about your journey with public speaking can humanize you and create a bond with your audience. People love hearing about real experiences. They make your message relatable and memorable.
And finally, be confident and energetic in your opening. Your tone and body language should match the importance of your message. A strong start is not just about words, but also how you deliver them, setting the stage for a successful presentation.
Your voice is one of your most important tools in public speaking. Practice projecting it clearly, ensuring it reaches everyone in the room. A confident, strong voice immediately commands attention and shows your authority on the topic.
Yes, Jennifer. Varying your pitch and tone is also essential. A monotone delivery can make even exciting content dull. Use a conversational tone and emphasize key words to keep your audience engaged and make your message impactful.
Don't forget about pacing. Speaking too quickly might confuse your audience, while speaking too slowly could lose their interest. Practice maintaining a steady, natural pace and pause strategically to let important points sink in.
Exactly. Enunciation is another key factor. Articulate your words clearly, especially if your audience includes non-native English speakers. Pronouncing words correctly ensures everyone understands your message, regardless of their language proficiency.
Warm-ups before speaking can improve your vocal performance. Try humming or doing tongue twisters to loosen up your vocal cords. A prepared voice not only sounds better, but also boosts your confidence as you address the audience.
Finally, match your vocal delivery with your emotions. If you're discussing a passionate point, let that energy shine through in your voice. Your tone should reflect your feelings, making your speech more compelling and authentic to listeners.
Body language speaks volumes. Stand tall with your shoulders back and feet firmly planted. This posture projects confidence and helps you feel grounded. A strong stance makes you look more authoritative, even if you're feeling nervous inside.
Absolutely. Jennifer, eye contact is another powerful tool. Looking directly at your audience, even for a few seconds per person, shows that you're engaged and open. It builds a connection and makes listeners feel acknowledged and involved in your message.
Yes, and don't forget hand gestures. When used naturally, gestures emphasize key points and add energy to your speech. Just be careful not to overdo it. Controlled, purposeful movements can strengthen your message and keep your audience's attention.
Good point. Facial expressions matter too. Smiling, when appropriate, can make you appear approachable and positive, helping ease any initial tension. Matching expressions to your words helps the audience trust your sincerity and keeps them emotionally invested.
And remember to avoid closed body language, like crossed arms or hands in pockets. This can signal insecurity or discomfort. Instead, keep your arms relaxed by your sides or use them to support your points. Open body language invites engagement and shows confidence.
Lastly, be mindful of pacing your movement. Walking slowly across the stage or taking a step forward during key points can enhance your delivery. Movement should feel natural and purposeful, showing you're comfortable in your space and confident in your message.
Mistakes are bound to happen, but handling them gracefully can enhance your credibility. If you lose your train of thought, pause, take a breath, and regroup. A moment of silence can feel longer to you than to the audience, so stay calm and carry on.
Exactly. If you mispronounce a word or stumble, don't panic. You can simply correct yourself and move forward, perhaps with a small smile. This shows you're human, and the audience will appreciate your composure and resilience.
And if you completely forget a point, don't dwell on it. Shift to the next part of your talk, and if possible, bring it back later when it fits naturally. Dwelling on mistakes can derail your focus, but moving forward keeps the momentum going.
Another useful tactic is humor. If appropriate, you can turn a small mistake into a light-hearted moment. A bit of self-deprecating humor can make you more relatable, and audiences generally respond positively to speakers who can laugh at themselves.
Great point, Thomas. And remember, the audience usually isn't aware of your entire plan. So if you skip a minor detail, they likely won't notice. Focus on your core message rather than perfection, and trust that small slips won't overshadow your main points.
Lastly, let mistakes be a learning opportunity. Reflect afterward on what went wrong and how you can prepare better next time. Every speaker makes errors. It's how you handle them that truly defines your growth and resilience as a public speaker.
Audience engagement is essential for a memorable presentation. One technique is to ask open-ended questions throughout your talk. Questions prompt listeners to reflect, which keeps them mentally involved and adds a dynamic, conversational feel to your presentation.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Another way is through storytelling. Sharing personal anecdotes or relatable examples makes complex ideas more accessible. Stories captivate listeners, helping them connect emotionally with your topic, and they often remember your points better this way.
That's so true, Thomas. Interactive elements like quick polls or show-of-hands questions can also boost engagement. These moments invite direct participation, making the audience feel like active contributors rather than passive listeners, which increases their attention.
I agree, and don't underestimate the power of humor. Light jokes, if appropriate, create a relaxed atmosphere and help keep your audience attentive. Just make sure your humor aligns with the topic and audience. It should enhance the presentation, not distract from it.
Body language, as we discussed, plays a role here too. Use open gestures, walk closer to your audience, and maintain eye contact. These nonverbal cues show that you're connecting with them, making them feel involved and valued as part of the experience.
Lastly, adapt to your audience's reactions. If you notice they seem puzzled or disinterested, shift your tone or rephrase key points to re-engage them. Flexibility shows that you're tuned into their needs, creating a more dynamic and engaging presentation.
Visual aids can be powerful in reinforcing your message. Simple slides, graphs, or images can clarify complex points. When used effectively, visuals break down information, making it easier for the audience to follow along and retain what you're saying.
Exactly, Jennifer, but it's crucial not to overload slides with text. Keep them clean with just a few key phrases or points. The visuals should support your talk, not distract from it. You want the audience's focus on you, not on reading a crowded slide.
And don't forget to practice with your visuals. Make sure you're comfortable transitioning between them smoothly and that they're aligned with your speaking pace. Practicing builds confidence and helps avoid technical hiccups that could disrupt your flow.
Good point. Also, timing is essential. Don't linger too long on one slide or rush through multiple slides. Give the audience enough time to absorb the visual information, then bring their attention back to you. Balance keeps the visuals as supportive tools.
Absolutely, and using a pointer or highlighting specific parts of your visuals can guide the audience's focus. It makes your delivery more interactive, as you're physically drawing attention to key points, which strengthens the impact of your message.
Lastly, be prepared for tech issues. Always have a backup plan in case something goes wrong with the visuals. This could mean practicing without them or having printed handouts. Being prepared ensures you can carry on confidently no matter the situation.
Nervousness is natural in public speaking. One of my go-to strategies is deep breathing before speaking. A few slow, deep breaths calm the mind and reduce physical tension, helping me feel grounded and prepared when I step onto the stage.
That's a great tip, Jennifer. I also recommend visualizing a successful presentation. Imagine the audience responding positively and envision yourself speaking confidently. Visualization primes your brain for success, easing nerves and building confidence.
Another effective trick is practicing a power pose. Standing tall with open arms or a confident stance for a minute or two boosts your mood and reduces stress. It sounds simple, but it makes a difference in how strong and ready you feel.
Absolutely, and positive self-talk is powerful too. Instead of focusing on what if I make a mistake, remind yourself of your strengths like I'm well prepared or I know this material. Affirmations redirect your mindset and help counter nervous thoughts.
Engaging with the audience also helps calm nerves. Smile, make eye contact, and try to see them as supportive listeners. Connecting with your audience can make you feel less isolated, turning the experience into a shared interaction rather than a performance.
Finally, practice is key. The more you rehearse, the more familiar the content becomes, reducing anxiety. Practice with a friend, record yourself, or speak in front of a mirror. Familiarity builds comfort, helping you handle nerves and focus on delivering a great speech.
The opening of your speech is crucial. It sets the tone for the rest of your talk. I like to start with a strong, engaging statement or a question that grabs the audience's attention. It sparks curiosity and primes them for what's to come.
That's so true, Jennifer. A good opener can immediately create a connection with your listeners. You could also try a relevant quote or surprising fact that resonates with your audience's interests, making them more eager to hear your message.
I've also found it helpful to share a personal story or anecdote. A brief story humanizes you, making you more relatable. It helps establish trust and makes your speech feel less like a formal presentation and more like a conversation.
Definitely, Jennifer. Another technique is to introduce the key points you'll cover in the talk. Giving the audience a roadmap helps them know what to expect. It also reassures them that you've organized your thoughts, which adds credibility to your presentation.
And remember to establish a strong emotional tone from the start. Whether you're aiming for humor, inspiration, or even a little suspense, setting the right emotional atmosphere can engage the audience's emotions and keep them hooked throughout your speech.
Lastly, be sure to practice your opening until it feels natural. The more comfortable you are with it, the more confident you'll appear. A smooth, confident start will ease any nerves and ensure that you grab the audience's attention right away.
It's important to remember that everyone makes mistakes during a presentation. When it happens, stay calm and composed. Acknowledge the mistake briefly, smile, and continue. Your poise will demonstrate confidence and show the audience that you're in control.
Exactly, and don't over-apologize. Overemphasizing a mistake can draw more attention to it. Instead, just keep going and keep your tone confident. The audience is generally more focused on your message than any minor slip dash-ups ...
I've learned that pausing for a moment when you make a mistake can be helpful. This gives you time to gather your thoughts without feeling rushed. It also signals to the audience that you're handling the situation with confidence and control.
That's a great point, Jennifer. If the mistake was something that the audience noticed, try to incorporate humor to lighten the moment. A small joke or light-hearted comment can break any tension, keeping the atmosphere positive and relaxed.
If you forget something important during the speech, it's okay to briefly reference the missing point later. Just bring it up casually, saying, "Oh, I forgot to mention." It shows you're in charge of your talk and that nothing can derail you for long.
Lastly, practice and preparation reduce the chances of mistakes. If you're well prepared, you'll feel more confident in handling any issues that come up. Mistakes are just opportunities to demonstrate your professionalism and your ability to recover smoothly.
The closing of your speech is just as important as the opening. It's your last chance to leave a strong impression. I like to wrap up by summarizing the key points clearly and offering a call to action, so the audience knows what to take away from my talk.
Absolutely, Jennifer. A great way to end is with a memorable statement or quote that ties everything together. It creates a lasting impression. I also recommend keeping the closing concise. Too much information can overwhelm your listeners right at the end.
I also like to thank the audience for their time and attention. A simple acknowledgement shows your appreciation, which can help end on a positive, respectful note. It creates a bond, making the audience feel valued for their engagement.
A strong, confident conclusion is essential. When you finish speaking, stand tall and make eye contact with the audience. This reinforces your message and gives the impression that you've said everything you needed to with authority and clarity.
Also, if you can, offer an opportunity for questions or a brief interaction. This invites further engagement and shows that you're open to dialogue. It gives the audience a chance to clarify things and creates a more dynamic, participatory experience.
And remember to leave the stage with confidence. Your body language should reflect the same assurance you want your audience to take with them. When you close strong, it ensures that your message resonates long after you've finished speaking.
Overcoming the fear of public speaking takes time and practice, but it's completely achievable. Every time you step up to speak, you gain more experience and confidence. Remember, the audience is there to hear your message, not to judge you.
Exactly, Jennifer. Building confidence is a gradual process. Start with smaller, less intimidating audiences and work your way up. With each experience, you'll learn more about your strengths and how to manage any nerves you may feel.
And don't forget that mistakes are part of growth. Embrace them as learning opportunities. The more you face challenges, the stronger you become. Soon, you'll find that public speaking becomes more of a tool for expression than something to fear.
Absolutely. The key is to practice, stay positive, and never shy away from opportunities to speak. With time, public speaking will feel more natural, and the fear you once had will turn into the confidence you need to communicate effectively.
So, to everyone listening, remember, public speaking is a skill you can develop. With the right mindset and some practical techniques, you can conquer your fears and become a confident, compelling speaker. Keep practicing and don't give up.
We hope these tips have helped you on your journey to becoming a more confident public speaker. Thanks for tuning in, keep challenging yourself, and we'll be here with more advice in future episodes. Good luck and take care.